also feel long. And then when we get ready to push up, it's all about the legs. Push through the legs, push up, 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 up. That looks fabulous, darling. Sarah, that's it. We're working on knees and feet face forward, step the feet together. On using what we have, how we were designed. Remember I talked about our creator, like we are amazing. We are amazing. Because there's no accident about the way that we're created. And so when things start to go awry, what do we need to do? We need to go back to the way that we were created. How does the body work? What's the physiology? Let's find our super blocks if you're wondering what these giant things are for. We will put them, I'm going to show a side profile. So go to the top of your mat or about the third back from the top of your mat and put one block on one side and one on the other. We're going to step the right foot through. The left foot's going to step back and the hands come to your blocks. In this position, wide palms, we're going to draw the right hip back as the left hip goes forward. And in this position, it is important that both feet have weight even between the ball of the foot and the heel of the front leg, and especially the back leg. This is the most common position where we'll have the heel up. So adjust the foot as it needs to be. Now also, see if the left foot can be somewhat close to the alignment of the left hand. So if the left foot is here, I want you to move that left foot out to the side. And in fact, good, nice. For the cue that I'm about to give you, let's be strong through the legs, breathe. Set the quads, breathe. Right hip pulls back as the left hip goes forward, breathe. Firm and keep the muscles strong in the front of your thighs. Lengthen the spine and then cascade over. Now, each of us is different. Let the head, let the shoulders drop down. Notice, go to the edge of your stretch, breathe. Now, everybody's different. Some people will be like, oh, okay. And others will be like, oh, here I am. Breathe. One, make a muscle through the front of your thigh. So everyone pay attention. If the right knee bent a lot, I need it to begin to straighten as well as it can. Miss Allie, bring the back heel, back foot closer to you. And yeah, bring it out. Yeah, there you go. And then we're just working, there you go. And you're just going to think about, that's it. Yeah, it's just about, okay, where am I? So Miss Jesky, bring your right hip, pull it back a little bit. It's as if, okay, and I'm going to come in close here. Breathe, everybody. I'm going to shift the weight a little bit. Okay, I'm coming in even closer. I'm going to shift. Okay, hold on. Notice how this feels different. Welcome to my world. What we want, the most common thing, nice, Miss Sarah, you've got it. Good job, everybody. What we're looking for is that the most common part of our restriction are the inner thigh, the adductor part, or the middle part of the hamstring typically takes all the attention. And so we get to a position where we feel the stretch, our hips are kind of like this. And I want you, the tightness that exists, I want you to get a whole stretch. We've got large muscles behind and they go on both sides of the knee. So right now, I'm telling stories because I like you to be here for a long time. Keep breathing. Firm the thighs. Now we're going to extend the spine. So this is coming, the extension of the spine is about lift your chest, lift your tailbone, and left hand on your block, right hand to your hip crease. Right hip goes back even more. Anybody notice that the ball of your big toe came off? Put it back down, breathe. Right hip goes back only as far as the ball of the big toe can stay. Now the belly turns to the right. The ribs and chest turn to the right. My head and neck turn to the right. I can stay right here, or the right arm reaches, or reaches, or reaches. But I'm less concerned about this arm. Beautiful. Strong, fairly straight right leg. Breathe. Yeah. Don't worry so much about this. In fact, as you're first moving to this, Miss Jesky, bring your arm down a little bit. Bring it to over here. Because of what you shared with me earlier, I want you to think and have more focus on what's happening here and here This, you've got the range of motion, because I really want you to pay attention to that. These practices may look simple. Keep breathing, bring the right hand back down. They are very complex. There you go. There was a sign of the breath. Okay. I'm gonna move my blocks just so that you can see what I'm doing with my foot. You guys keep your blocks where they are. Dorsiflex the right ankle, breathe. Extend the toes, breathe. And invert and evert. Oh, here we go. Oh, Sarah found it. These are areas of restriction, of tightness, and many of us will feel, ouchie, that's not comfortable. I will ask you to repeat this offensive activity as long as you can breathe, as often as you can, and guess what? It will feel better. When you're ready, keep breathing. Right foot comes down, rest. I'm going to move my blocks back to help me. We're going to do an elevated downward dog. Hands on blocks or your chair, whatever you have. You don't need blocks. Step back, wide fingers and palms, strong legs, elevated downward dog. Now notice if we're just falling here, I want you to be connected, back of the head, ribs to ceiling. Breathe 1. Breathe 2. And breathe 3. Now keep breathing. Inhale, left foot steps forward from the thighs. Left hip pulls back. And I don't know how many times I've done that. Teaching and walking about. All right. So strong through the arms, breathe. Firm through the thighs, breathe. Left hip pulls back as the right hip goes forward, breathe. Make a muscle through the front of the thighs, breathe. The anchoring through the feet. Yes, now we're left foot forward. Good job, sweetie. Breathe. So as the right hip is pulling back, the left hip is going forward. And so, yeah. And then we're wanting, it's kind of a shifting. And what happens is, okay, here I go again. Okay. I'm going to shift a little bit. What did I say? Right hip forward. What did I say? Yeah, you did it the other way. And left hip back. Yeah, okay. Because the left hip is going back as the right hip is trying. And so it's real subtle. This takes a while. Good. We're making a muscle. We're here on purpose, dropping our head down if it feels right to you, because we want to go to the edge of the stretch where the muscle goes, oh, you mean you want me to get more length? But here's the trick here. We are purposefully, there's a reason why I said try to keep that left knee as straight as you can, both of them in fact, and firm the quadricep, because we're using strengthening of the front of the thigh to help to tell the brain, hey, I'm working here. The brain will then send a message to the hamstring, the muscles on the opposite side of that knee joint, and say, hey, you need to relax. So that's going to help us gain more flexibility. When you're ready, inhale, come up. Exhale, right hand on the right block, left hand to the left hip pulls back, right hip goes forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, push the right hand into the block, belly turns to the left, ribs turn to the left, chest turns to the left, neck and head turn to the left, breathe. You decide what you're going to do with your left arm, but I will share with us. Don't be in a rush for that arm and shoulder, but yeah, know exactly where the breath is, know exactly where your body is. That's it. And just breathe with awareness. And then when you're ready, inhaling and exhaling, that left hand comes back down. Once again, with both hands on your blocks or chair, we dorsiflex the left ankle, extend the toes, breathe, and invert and evert, breathe the ankle. And we notice, I heard you sighing again over there. This one is for the many of us, especially if we've not done it very much or ever, it's pretty uncomfortable. We have one of our students, and you all might be able to speak to this, those of you who've been doing this with me for a while, but I have a student who's been doing practice with me for over 20 years. And she's stronger 20 years later. And this particular posture right here, she hated it. And I said, oh, good. You should do that more frequently. So let's do it some more. Release. After about 3 months, yeah, she didn't realize that she hated it anymore because it didn't bother her anymore. Hands on blocks, step back into elevated downward dog. Breathe. So I will ask you if you notice that you felt a lot of that when we were doing that, ouchie, then with a lot of respect and love, I'll ask you to repeat that little offensive activity. Gently inhale, bend the knees, step the feet towards the hands or the blocks. Inhale and exhale, bring the hands to thighs and inhale, sweep all the way up. Woo! Big stretch. For those of us who have a history of spinal issues, that one's on your list because that one's going to make a big change. And so it's an important one. It's not easy. And it doesn't have to be on a chair or blocks. It could be done against the wall. All you got to do is have something that you support with. Boom, 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 boom. Ha ha. I know. I was over there. You all know what I was talking about, right? Wall, that kind of thing. Okay. Those guys are, they could be teaching the class. Exactly. So they're like, Bobby, show us your downward dog. She'll be like, okay. Bobby did the therapeutic yoga lifestyle training in 2021. And so she did once a month. She did a weekend. She did Friday nights. Oh, look, she's showing us her downward dog. Well, there you go. Woohoo! She makes it look easy. Okay, come back up. Let's do that. Look at that right there. We got, what day is it today? 18th? We got 2 weeks before her 85th birthday. She's showing us how to do it. This is good. All right, thank you. Let's come to standing mountain. Breathe. Tree pose. Breathe. Hands at heart center. Yeah, I know. Eyes gazing at a point that's not moving. Shift the weight onto that right foot.